Hi everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube page here on Mystic Moons Astrology. My name is Ashley, and today I wanted to get on the page and converse with you about Lilith and Synastry. And we know that Lilith is a very attractive, alluring call to our wild, natural instincts as human beings. And it definitely is all about wanting to feel equal and be heard and seen and recognized and acknowledged. And oftentimes with Lilith, we can feel some repression and some type of a suppressive energy around expressing that Lilith freely and openly. And when we're discussing Lilith with a planet or a axis point in Synastry, we are really uncovering some things for the Lilith person to see for themselves as the planet person is showing up in these ways. And so let's talk about that a little bit. Let's talk about the first off, I'm going to discuss, kind of what Lilith is like in Synastry, and then I'm going to go over some of the aspects made. So, Lilith in Synastry can feel like the planet person can break them out of repressive patterns. The planet person is awakened and is connecting to Lilith in a way that can shed light on Lilith's issues. Lilith can feel the planet person try to peel back their layers, and at times this can be tough. Lilith can pull away when they feel like the planet person is getting too close or trying to control them or even show them a better way. And also, it's to be noted and said that the Lilith person, when they feel like the planet person is using maybe subversive tactics and maybe manipulation or even control immediately from the planet or axis person, if that's given to Lilith, Lilith can spot that and identify that. And this is because Lilith has been cast out for these same reasons, this patriarchal, subversive manipulation and control. So she wanted to leave the garden, and it's the utmost importance in this connection when dealing with Lilith contacts in Synastry to be authentic and real, because like I said, Lilith can spot these themes and these tactics from the planet person. So if the planet person, let's say the planet person knows that Lilith is digging what they've got going on, the planet person can manipulate, they can control the Lilith person, and they can try to coerce the Lilith person to go along with whatever's happening in the Synastry chart. So the planet person needs to know that they're hooking into this Lilith individual where they need expansion and a need to be set free. So being empathetic with the Lilith person and patient, allowing them to move at their own pace, the planet person can awaken the Lilith individual, and the Lilith person is willing, but in their own time and with authentic relating to the planet. And like I said, if there's any thought that there really could be, this connection could be used against them, Lilith will retract. Lilith can be scared and fearful of where the planet person wants to go. And so if the planet person tries to push them in a way, the Lilith person in a way that they don't want to be pushed, then it will not be very well in a reaction from the Lilith to the planet. Because demands are not something that Lilith adheres to. So, now let's speak about Lilith with the ascendant. Looking into the eyes of the ascendant person and knowing they are wanting to be as wild, free, and untamed as the Lilith person, the ascendant person embodies traits that the Lilith person is struggling to allow of themselves. Lilith can see their own self in the ascendant person, and the ascendant person has quite a pull on Lilith. The ascendant is Lilith to the Lilith person. They may be a darker, magical, open, free, wild, untamed individual in the eyes of Lilith. They may seem just out of reach, as Lilith connections embody a getting away energy. Lilith sees in the ascendant individual themselves. These two can break one another out of patterns, repression, anger, feelings of being trapped. And it can be a bit frightening, but these two can be bold, magnanimous, and a force for change together. A physical connection and a self-esteem booster here. Self-acceptance is important, self-love, self-assurance, identity are all wrapped up in this connection. Lilith can pull back when seeing ascendant freely express their identity, but Lilith will still hang in the background most of the time. And they may be a little fearful of the power the ascendant person holds on them, because they both here want freedom, individuality, and an authentic connection. Both need to be aware of the way that they present themselves to one another. Out of all of my most significant relationships personally that I've had, they've had the signature of Lilith with the ascendant. I've currently been 15 years with my husband, whose ascendant is conjunct my black moon at 8 degrees. And his black moon is conjunct my midheaven. He has pushed me with my midheaven, not always in the most sympathetic way, but loving nonetheless, towards my work, creativity, proving myself, and following through. Almost if he wants to remind me of my working obligations. With my black moon conjunct his ascendant, on the night that we met, I was doing my own independent thing, and I came into the place he worked after I got off from work. Although we worked right across the street for months, we never met. When I noticed his face, his smile, his eyes, immediately, I actually said something to him, which was so unnatural of me, but I just blurted it out. And there was immediate attraction on both sides. So this, you can definitely feel the intensity when your black moon is connecting with someone else's ascendant, because it's almost like knocking on the door and saying, can you come out and play and be natural and be free and be wild? And this connection can offer both in this interaction to give permission to be, like I said, wild, free, and fun. And it's so exuberant because you're able to just let things, be. And it's very alluring and sexually attractive. With the Lilith conjunct the ascendant, they both see each other as physically, in the way that they show up, hot. So, now if Lilith is fearful in Synastry aspects, which means that Lilith has some difficulties embodying their Lilith energy, they can choose to retreat because they may be operating their Lilith in a suppressive way. So they're not wanting to come out with that. Also, if the planet person has afflictions or a heavy transit at the time to the planet or the axis point, this may modify how the planet person's showing up to Lilith. So these are all things to keep in mind. The planet person must know that Lilith will always be true to themselves. And that because this energy comes from an unconscious intuition, a gut feeling, Lilith will always be what it is. And if they are allowing of the planet person to step into their life, then they are kind of pulling off and drawing off the energy that that planet or that axis point is giving to them. And they can themselves rise up in their Lilith position to be set free from some of the hang-ups that they have. Now let's say that the planet person doesn't have afflicting aspects to other planets, and we are just speaking about Lilith with the planets. Lilith with the moon. Moon provides a nurturing glow to Lilith. Lilith with moon is emotionally a bonding pair, and moon opens up to Lilith. And moon knows this Lilith person may have some demons and oppressive characteristics, yet they are drawn to this person on a deep, visceral, emotional level. Lilith with the sun. Sun shines light on Lilith's hang-ups and things holding him or her in isolation. The sun provides energy to encourage Lilith to shine, and Lilith can be creatively motivated from this energy. Lilith with Mars. Mars provides energy for Lilith to break out of imposed restrictions in life. This is a very attractive, alluring, magnetic, physical connection. There may be some physical restrictions, or either that or a very open physical pairing here. It'll be either one. Either Lilith will, it's fight or flight here with Mars, because either Mars is really going to suck up that energy from Lilith, or they might back up a little bit, because depending on how that Lilith person is showing up will really depend on if Mars wants to connect with them in that Lilith space. Lilith with Mercury. Mercury provides mind, thoughts, and logic towards Lilith breaking out, showing Lilith how to speak up for what they want and what they need. This is also an aspect where, just kind of like Lilith and Gemini, there may have been some oppressive stuff with Lilith, to where maybe needing to speak up about things that they have been belittled about in the past, or not had the inclination to speak up for themselves and really be an advocate for themselves. Mercury can come in and kind of give Lilith a little bit of that fuel to get out of that self-imposed isolation of not being able to speak up or write or do things that they need to do clearly, or maybe they've been held back because they've been oppressed by others, and so Mercury comes in and kind of helps out with that and can be a very positive influence for Lilith, and vice versa. If Lilith is able to embody some of that themselves and break out of their repression with Mercury, mind, thoughts, topics, then that can help quite a bit. Lilith with Venus. Venus provides a love and appreciation, security, and beauty for the Lilith to connect with in partnership, opening up to letting their guards down, their hair down, and this contact can open Lilith up to their softer side and wanting to be more open with loving relations with others, whereas they may have been more closed off in this area of life. Lilith, on their end, Venus may come in and show them a way to love and to appreciate and to really allow the finer, more beautiful things in life to come in. Lilith with Jupiter. Well, Jupiter offers expansion, fortunate and friendly energy to Lilith, and they can really open Lilith up to learning about new cultures and being more diverse, because Jupiter really represents the larger mind and bigger topics. This can be a very nice wisdom connection where Lilith is able to kind of get out of their, things that they've got going on in their Lilith sign, to kind of look at that Jupiter person, see how they're developing joy, positivity, luck in their life. And because of this, Jupiter can support and encourage and enliven the Lilith person on their journey. This also has a lot to do with knowledge. So Jupiter's really open-minded, and so Lilith is open-minded as well when she's able to get out of that repressed state. So this can mean very open possibilities with this pairing here. It's a gorgeous pairing. So, and it's very optimistic with Lilith with Jupiter. Lilith with Saturn. Well, Saturn gives instruction, tough love, and a mature influence to Lilith, offering objective and reason. They can offer stability to a wild and free Lilith, teaching Lilith to harness some powerful energy to build, grow their reputation, their public image, their persona, and new concepts and new ways of thinking, because Saturn is really a teacher. And like I said in the very beginning, gives instruction to Lilith, where Lilith may not have so much structure and instruction for herself. This can be a beautiful, beautiful connection. And it's with Saturn, it's always karmic, so it can feel like a very karmic link to have Saturn with Lilith. So, Lilith with Uranus. Uranus lends progressive, spontaneous, open possibilities to Lilith, showing Lilith new, exciting, weird ways to stand out. This is an electric connection that pulls Lilith towards greater relating and open-minded individuality. So this is definitely a freedom-loving, individualistic position here. Uranus can also be very spontaneous in their energy. They can come in and out of Lilith's life. This can be a norm because they are here one day, gone the next. But it's very future growth oriented, and it can definitely, the Uranus person can definitely break Lilith out of some ruts and get her more out in the open when it comes to expressing who she truly is and standing up for that. So that's great. Lilith with Neptune. Well, Neptune taps into the ethereal, magic, enchanting part of life, and they reach Lilith in dreams and in spirituality, and also the cosmos. So anytime that we've got Neptune, we can have a bit of illusion with this contact, because Neptune is this mystical water, and Lilith is this energy that we need to, we need to help us out with standing up for ourselves and being more bold about asserting our will. That's the thing. This can be a very creative pairing, because Neptune is the creator. It's the dreamer, right? It's the visionary that thinks outside of the bounds of the earth. It's the cosmos, and it's all about, it's boundaryless, basically. And it escapes from ego. So this can be a cosmic-like connection, honestly, because as long as Neptune is operating in a good fashion, Neptune can help Lilith be more open to dreaming and creating and being their best selves. So Lilith with Pluto. Pluto pulls deep healing, rebirth, and evolution out of Lilith. These two together work out of repressed patterns, outdated modes of subconscious relating. These two may be aware of the power they exert together when they are together. And that's because both of them are working from a unconscious part of life, and they're really pulling from their intuition to see things through. Now, Pluto is all about chaos, transformation, and rebirth. And so Pluto may have some things that they need to work on, but the Lilith person does too. So these two can be powerful and enact change where people weren't able to see that change before. Maybe it wasn't thought of in the realms of the Lilith and Pluto being together in this connection. So Lilith is a very interesting part of our charts, and there is an intensity and there is a big pull in Lilith connections, and the planet person can really rub off on the Lilith person and help them get out of their repressed states. So it's a place where we don't want to submit. So my advice for those in these relationships with Lilith that is prominent is to just be authentic with each other, because you both have very strong wills and very strong personalities here, and you're coming at each other both in delicate spaces of life. So I hope you enjoyed this video about Lilith with the ascendant and the planets. If you did, feel free to like it, and if you like the content on this page, feel free to subscribe, and I look forward to making more videos here soon. I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye.